never had an adolescence when you think about it. He didn't have a youth almost because of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
So that's always something. So that's why I like when I like looking at Carl, it's like, this is someone who missed out on his youth. We take it for granted. This is a character you have to understand that he was brought up in an untraditional way. There's very few kids that we see there that are surviving as long as he has anyway on the show.
That's a good point, I guess.
Maybe you guess. You don't want to fully agree.
Maybe he doesn't. Well, if you can't decide whether you like the episode or not,
you can't throw that in my face. You cannot do that. I have criticisms on both sides, is what I'm saying.
Wow. So Rick and Aaron, they wake up together in the back of an empty truck. What happens on the road stays on the road, David.
That's right.
We don't know what happened between those two.
Nope.
They open up the back door. Aaron sees something that he didn't the night before. They're being way too vague about this when it was just the sign that
pretty
said,
much
don't enter here.
Yeah, I don't know. Did they go somewhere? Did they
Well, because they edited it together, making it look like there was a big group of walkers.
Yeah,
but that was the saviors.
And oddly enough, when we get to it, we're gonna have the saviors are just basically waiting for a bunch of walkers to pass. So it's kind of confusing that everybody's in the back of a truck.
Yeah,
it's too similar. Like I find that there's no variety in this. Yeah, they
needed something in between because why is it a big mystery what Aaron sees?
Right,
when it's just a sign and we see it a little later. Anyway, that was a very short scene. On the road, we catch up with two of the saviors with their truck. And they also had to spend the night waiting out a large group of walkers. Once it clears, they get going, and we see that Jesus and Carl are still stowed away in the back. So that was that scene.
Yeah, they spent the night. So do you think they spent the night in the front seat or actually in the back of the truck? And Jesus and Carl had to basically not make any natural noises.
No, definitely the front.
I hope so.
There's no protection in the back, too.
No, exactly, yeah. Well, they have their armories in the back. They have weapons in the back.
No protection. Like, if you fall asleep, there's no door to close. It's just just plastic.
So why would Rick and Aaron choose to be in the back of a truck instead of being in the front, then?
Carl and Aaron.
No. You think about Carl and Jesus?
Oh, because they have a lot of space back there, and they have a door.
I guess, yeah. I don't know, yeah. Because the reason you said is because there's only one way out too. It's the same with them. They chose that. I don't know.
Not at all. That's not what I was saying. I was saying that the saviors can't because there's no physical door on the back of that truck. It's plastic sheeting.
I see. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's
so they fall asleep. They're crawling in there.
I'm surprised. Yeah, so they have to watch their speed every time to watch out, see if any stock would actually fly off if they ever hit the brake intensely, or it's
very inconvenient.
Oh, okay.
Truck.
It was just convenient enough for Jesus to sneak in. That's why the door's not there.
Exactly.
It's exactly why there's no door.
That's why they have it. They talk about Fat Joe rigging the hard way. I assume it's Fat Joe from
the rapper, right?
Yeah, like Fat Joe and Ashanti.
That's right. Yeah. Well, you'll know him as Fat Joe and Ashanti. He's had his own thing, I'm sure too. But I don't know.
I don't know.
He was in that movie Empire with John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo?
Yeah, man.
John Leguizamo?
Whatever. I have an Italian version of his name.
All right. I'm sure we're both pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah, it's fine. But anyways, you know what I'm talking about. But that's the only thing I know. Or Scary Movie 3.
Oh, that's him. Okay.
Yeah, Scary Movie 3. He has like that rap battle with that other guy who's supposed to be like the Eminem character.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, he's rigged the hard way. The hard way is one of the ways out of the sanctuary. If we remember, there was the angel, was it the butterfly? There was the hard way. There's a few different ways. The hard way is apparently the hard way because there's a ton of walkers out there. It's rigged with dynamite and RPGs to maybe take them down. I don't know. That's all I got from that. It was.
I don't know if that's going to be something I hope that's going to be something useful. Like eventually.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know which way they went back to Alexandria.
The thing is that like the only people that have overheard that would be Carl and Jesus. I think Jesus would use that to his advantage more than, and he would, if there's anything, because like now there's a bunch of paths going towards the sanctuary, as we find out later. Yeah. I feel like that would be an advantage for Jesus to know, and if everybody comes together at some point. So
yeah.
So we'll see.
He passed the statue. I don't know what way they took, but.
Yeah, I actually really liked that because it looked like a religious looking statue. It would be like I think it was just like a monk, I think, right?
Yeah.
With its and Jesus just literally like looks at it and it's just I guess it's supposed to show some sort of like some sort of like religious attribute or I don't know what. They keep playing with that, but I don't see how.
Well, when you're named Jesus, it just seems like there's.
I guess so, but I feel like it's just because he's named Jesus, and there's nothing really holy about him yet. No. You know,
no,
he didn't turn any water into wine yet, or something.
No, he just poured whiskey out of the back of it.
Yeah, exactly. He's been wasting if anything.
And syrup, maple syrup. He's wasting that.
I know. What's he think? Like, oh, it's okay. I'm eventually gonna go to Canada, or I don't know. What's the deal? Or Connecticut.
It's hard to get.
Or
Where do you
Vermont.
get maple syrup? You're not making any more. Oh, I guess the trees are making more all the time, but
not in that part of the states. That's for sure.
Not there. So Jesus and Carl talk about jumping, since they're pretty close. Jesus goes first, and Carl hangs back, waves goodbye to him.
Yep.
Jesus has been had. He got hosed.
Yeah, I totally expected that. I mean, like, we know what mission he was on, so yeah. It was,
Carl's going all in. So
he is.
At the sanctuary now, one of the saviors spots Carl. Wait, what did you think of the sanctuary? Did you see the? We got to see it. Finally.
I found it very. I found it kind of dumb that they show the outside of the sanctuary for the first time, especially that we've been there already in the episode itself. So I'm like, okay, why are they showing us this? This should have been shown already. So I found that kind of stupid.
Yeah, should have been. But it was a big reveal for the sanctuary, especially for the comic readers, because it looked exactly like it.
Which it should have happened during the episode if they aired the cell. And I would argue that the cell should have been aired after this episode for sure.
Everything should have just been moved around a
little
bit.
Yeah. And then, like, as we go on, we're going to see how the likeness of the characters and their change and everything. And you should see, like, it works so much better if the cell was given more context, later after this episode, especially.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I did like the building, and it turns out that building does exist.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because the one that Kirkman had modeled it after existed.
Oh, okay.
Because he modeled it after something, and I think they used that. They're filming on the same location as the prison, so they're using as where they shot the prison
in
stuff.
season 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so they CGI'd like the bottom of it.
Yeah.
But the top of it is just a composed image of a real building.
Okay.
So that's kind of neat. They didn't completely fabricate it.
Yeah,
even though it looks pretty fake when you're watching.
I would have liked it to be like. I would have liked it to look more fake, like those '90s superhero cartoons, like a Tim Burton film, and have like those like really obvious, painted skies or something.
Yeah. Everything just looks like a miniature.
Yeah. I would have loved that.
Wow, you're not getting it.
No, not at all. That would save them more time. That'd be more efficient, I think. They need efficiency. I feel like they need efficiency.
Well, I hope one day they hire you for efficiency, and you just start talking about Tim Burton models.
They'll love it.
Yeah, probably.
I have more of a rant later on. I'll save that for later.
All right. So one of the saviors spots Carl in the back of the truck, and he mows him down with the machine gun. Carl doesn't get mowed down. Well, the savior gets mowed down by Carl.
That's right.
He says he only wants Negan because he killed his friends, and that no one else needs to die. And this line, David, in particular, I think it works when it comes out of a 12-year-old. When Carl is saying it, it felt a little laughable. It felt like he was really forcing his toughness.
And what line specifically?
That line.
Oh, okay. He only wants Negan?
Well, when he comes out, it's like, I want Negan, he killed my friends, and no one else needs to die. It was a little too tough. Like, if you're older, you can say it. If you're younger, it's kind of cute.
Yeah, but it could also play off nervousness of the fact that you literally just killed somebody, mowed someone down, and you have a heavy assault rifle, everybody looking at you. It's like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to say something, because, But
Negan knew. Like, I don't know. Negan wasn't afraid. Negan laughed about it. He walked over to some other guy. Now, if there's a 12-year-old with a machine gun pointed at him, Negan's got to be terrified.
Honestly, okay. I personally hate how this was done, because is this the way it was done in the comic?
No. Okay, this is also a way that worked better in the comic, because
tell us.
In this, Carl he shoots one of the saviors.
Right.
Then he holds the gun. Mm-hmm. He has a clear shot on Negan.
Okay.
Doesn't take it for a while. This is in the show. I'm getting.
Oh, I know.
Catching us up.
I thought you were talking about the comic. This is looking similar to the show. Then.
Yeah, no. I'm just catching us up.
Because you're talking about what I hate right now. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let you talk about what you hate. I'll tell you what happened in the comic. In the comic, Carl is 12 years old. He has a big machine gun. Mm-hmm. When he goes to fire it, it's twice the size, half the size of him, so he loses control of it, and he just fires a bunch of saviors, but he also just kind of gets thrown around and ends up on the ground.
I would have loved that.
So he doesn't actually get to point the gun at Negan. The recoil is too bad, and he just loses.
I would have loved to have seen that better. I would have loved to see him screwed up, because I feel like that would have been more character, because he's finally owning up to his first mission, and for him to have it go down, I would almost find that more plausible as opposed to what they portrayed on the show. Because what happens next, like, he points the gun at Negan. I'm like, if you're there on a mission, why aren't you shooting everybody in his way, and including Negan?
Like, what do you have to say?
Exactly. Well, wait. Let me listen to what Negan has to say while I have a giant assault rifle in my hands. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. If anything, what they could have, if they didn't want it to happen the same way, you could have mowed down a couple more saviors, and then eventually Dwight would stop him right before he shoots Negan, and that would have been so much better. It's like, okay, he was all in on that, and that did not happen. Like, as if, because I know they want to play with. I know later on we're going to say that, you know, they want to play with the fact that maybe Carl would want to join the Saviors, but not like this. At least have his mission fail and then take him onto that. Because not like, oh, let me hear what he has. It's so soap opera. You know what I mean? It's
you get taken out of the moment.
Exactly. And this scene in Onworth just really set the tone for me. Just like, great, this is how it's going to be. Yeah. It's going to be one of those episodes. They're going to talk more, and that's that. There's no other, you know, crazy hiatus. Just that.
That was a fail, a mess up on their part, I think.
Yeah, and this is why, like, you know, this is the parts that I hate about it. Yeah. Because some good things do come up later, but this is something that, like, it defines the show. This is the beginning, and it defines the show. And then as you go on, I'll point out the line that I really hate that what Negan says later. So
yeah, if there was going to be a dialogue between the two before Carl tries to shoot or any of that,
right?
Wouldn't it have made sense? Because Negan goes behind one of his saviors,
right,
to use him like a shield. Carl doesn't care. Carl's going to mow him down too.
Exactly.
It shows that Negan doesn't care about his saviors, but it also shows. But it's
he's chicken.
What does it matter to us? Like, if Carl wants to kill Negan, doesn't care how many saviors he kills.
Yeah, and I feel like that's like an out to say, like, oh, the reason Negan didn't get shot right then and there is because he used someone as a shield. I'm like, if he found Jesus and used him as a shield, then that would have been something. Or Daryl.
Daryl.
Yeah, exactly.
Use Daryl. That's all you need to do. And then as they're having a discussion, that's when Dwight can knock him over.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. This was a complete fail on that part. So I felt like that was I was really disappointed with that, because I feel like if Carl's in a sight rifle and I was Carl, I'd be mowing down everybody. They're all unarmed. They're not ready to shoot. Like, you have like a good 50 rounds in an assault rifle. Yeah. Doesn't make any sense to me. And I got so pissed off because he could have went on a crazy killing spree. And
but he's also on the. I think he's kind of hoping that that's his escape plan. If he only kills Negan, the rest of the people might understand what he was there to do and maybe not try to kill him.
I don't think that was going through his head at all. None the head of a 16-year-old. I don't know. I don't feel that way.
He had a long trip to think about it. I mean, what are your chances? You can't kill everybody, but if you try to kill everybody with that machine gun, someone's going to come and kill you.
Well, you're holding them. You could have a bit of it's not going to be a Mexican standoff, but I'm going to say, like, you know, you mow a couple, let's say, like, you know, 5 people ahead of you, including Negan. Everybody else is just going to be like, and you just literally wave that thing around the whole time. I really feel like no one's going to make a move, and then you just run to the front of the truck and just basically drive off.
Yeah, but I'm feeling that he's hoping you kill Negan, and then everybody's like, which is the West thing.
He did make it, you. Right, I don't mean to interrupt, but he did make it sound like he's going there like he has nothing to lose. He said that to Enid last episode.
Yeah.
So
he's trying to be cool. He's trying to be in front of it.
I guess now, that's what it is.
I do agree that, he's fully prepared to die.
Right.
But maybe he doesn't know what that is until he's confronted with it.
And they could have easily played on the handicap, the fact that he has one eye and he has really bad depth perception, and they could have used that to make him fail. They didn't even use that at all because they addressed it so much later on in the episode. So,
well, don't people close one eye when they fire a gun anyway?
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, people close an eye when they shoot darts, and he was terrible at darts. So
well, you only have to use one eye.
I guess you don't need to close your eye, but I feel like when you see it depicted in television, a lot of people close an eye.
Anyways, all this to say, like, this was a failed. This was a failed attempt. Anyways, of to what would have potentially been a really good moment with Carl, a real badass moment that, you know, they emphasize so much that Negan says, and he emphasized that he's a badass, but it could have been even more badass. Yeah, you know. But
all of the edge of your seat moment is taken away because I'm saying, Carl, you could have done it.
Yeah, like I said, the reason I hate it too is because, you know, lately it's been lack of tension, lack of intensity, and opportunities like this could have really been good. But no, they.
So
let's make it boring. That's what they say.
Well, let's just make it not believable, maybe.
Exactly.
Daryl is watching from the fences. So anyway, Carl doesn't take the shot like we said. Dwight knocks him down. Or what does he? He shoots somebody else.
He does. The second guy comes up, he shoots him, and then Dwight comes off from the side. Yeah.
Yeah. And Negan tells him to take his hand, or he's going to cut Daryl's arm off. Basically.
Yeah, in a way of saying, yeah.
Yeah, it was in a cut to the point way.
Yeah, not good. Yeah, don't beat around the bush like the show does.
Yeah. So we found out here that Negan has multiple wives. Which
sorry. Before you go on to that, actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you actually skipped something else too, actually, because
tell me.
Doesn't he actually go into... Well, okay, first I want to say the line that I absolutely hate, because this is what...
Well, has the line been said yet?
if you're going straight to the wives thing, yes, but then you do skip another scene before the wives. But